I want you to talk about the mansion that we are expecting. Everybody talks about there's God's in heaven building us a mansion, I suppose, or he's or the house that we're going to be moving into. What sort of a house is the Bible talking about?
Well, it depends. In my case, it's huge. In your case, not so. No, I joke, but isn't that what you might hear if people were quite honest? I mean, it's funny, Chip. We get into this rewards and crowns and jewels and mansions thing, and then we can take it to an extreme, and it becomes very much like what Islam does with virgins. How many virgins am I going to have in heaven? Well, it depends on my performance on earth. And so, in my house, my father has many mansions. Well, we take that and then say, well, mine's bigger and yours is going to be smaller, and because I'm doing more and this, that, and the other. And it's all based on performance and an earning system. And what's interesting is that if you were to look at the word rewards, for example, it's non-existent in the entirety of the New Testament. I mean, the word rewards doesn't appear, and yet we've gotten into this theology of rewards plural, and I'm going to have 7, and you're going to have 9, and so-and-so's going to have 12, and it's all based on the fact that I did 7 things and you did 9 things, and we're quantifying, and we're trying to measure up and earn. And it's the same thing with these mansions. I mean, maybe you've thought about this whole mansion thing. I mean, we don't know what heaven is going to be like. I mean, is there really streets of gold? Are they literally gold, or are they made of a substance that appeared gold as someone had a vision and thought they were gold and described them as gold? What are the mansions really going to be like? Are they going to have walls, or can you just put your hand right through the walls? I mean, we don't know the actual substance of our dwelling places in heaven. But I guess, despite that, the big point is we're not to be sharing and comparing and imagining, this incredible 12,000 square foot mansion for me, and then, you only have 9,000 square feet because remember that time when you sinned, and remember that other time when you could have witnessed and you failed to. And so you see what we do? It's the masterful ego of mankind coming into play here. Just like people of the Islamic faith would do it with virgins, perhaps, and misuse and abuse that whole idea and end up doing some crazy, awful things. I mean, Christians are at fault when we turn reward into rewards and start counting. Chip, the Bible talks about reward. Not rewards, but rewards singular. And talks about the fact that there's a prize. We're in a race. There's an upward calling. There's a prize. There's a crown of life even. But notice that all these things are singular. And then you say, well, what is the crown of life? Why is it called that? Because it's the crown of eternal life. Well, whose life is eternal life? Well, Christ. So the whole thing is about Him, and He's my reward. And if He's my reward, then it's not about loot. It's not about heavenly merchandise. It's not about square footage. Christ is the only thing that matters. Paul puts it this way, he says everything else is dung, everything else is garbage next to knowing Christ. So if that's true now, does it change in heaven? Is it suddenly then about merchandise? I mean, we have to figure this thing out, because otherwise we're living our lives to kind of try to earn brownie points now and then collect jewelry later. And the whole thing is a facade. It's an ego trip. And Christ wants us to say, eat from me and drink of me and be satisfied in me and rest in me and get to know me, and I'm enough.